Hey, I'd like to make a quick, short video on how to field strip or take apart the Rohm RG42 25 caliber pistol. Now, these are quite affordable, cheap, often bad reputation for not being reliable. This one has been perfectly reliable though. And the thing that seems to be getting in trouble, I could not figure out how to get this thing open. The guy I got it from couldn't figure out how to get it open. Two different gunsmiths couldn't figure out how to get it open, even though they said they would keep trying if I left the gun with them. And I think Such 00, I think that's how his name is, Such 00 has a video on one that looks identical to this, and he couldn't figure out how to get it open. And I think the problem is quite simple, that the way it should go open is, since there's a plunger here that you can pull down, that the assumption is that this plunger is stopping the slide from coming back all the way. And if you can get it to go a little bit further, you should be able to get the slide to come up and forward. Kind of like the Walther PPK, I believe, comes off that way. And the barrel then is attached to the body and not attached to the slide. Well, everyone tried to do it that way, and I've tried, and that doesn't seem to work. What does seem, what clued me in that that's not the way this works is that I saw a parts diagram where the parts exploded out, and the barrel slides on and has a hole underneath where this pin goes. So that pin is holding the barrel in, not holding the slide in. So if you can take the barrel off, the slide will come off with it. So the slide and the barrel are basically one unit. So if you can push down that, which my fingers are long enough I can, you can slide this off. Now, I have this one oiled and already loosened, but it gets caked on, and it was actually quite difficult to take off. And because the striker, if you will, is part of the body here, it you can't just push or tap. So what I found worked was, if you push this down, slide this back and let go of it so it can slam forward, it gives enough energy to break the barrel loose. And now you can see how this now comes off. You can also, if you wanted to, if you had a screwdriver with some tape on it or a piece of wood, you can pry that there as well, I would assume, but it comes off like that. And this right here is the fire pin and striker and fire pin and spring. So that is the trick. Now, once you have this off, let's just lay that up here. You can take the barrel off if you wanted to by pushing that down up. Now, this is bigger on this end and that end, so it will not go on correctly that way. There's a ridge where the spring will go in, so it goes on one way, and that goes there. And you can clean that. Now, there's a block in here that appears to be able to come out, but it's being held in place by this extractor, and I didn't feel the need to take it out. That's where the firing pin will ride. There's a hole right in there that you can see where the firing pin and striker rides in. If you take this pin here that you see here at the top and here at the bottom and drive it out, this block would slide up and out. But that said, you can put this back in. Now, the barrel itself will hit the bushing over here, so you may have to get it lined up a little bit. You see right there, it's kind of fighting a little bit, but if you push down and up a little bit. There it goes. So there you go. So what you thought you could do by doing this, by taking off, you do here by doing it from this end out. So that part now you can clean and get right. The striker rides on this rod, and that comes off. So you just wiggle that. It has a really fine pin. Now, that's all done. You can, if you want, take this out, and there's a spring in here that swings out, but I don't you know, you can figure that part out if you want. There's no need to cleaning it purposes. So we're going to put this back together again. There's a small hole there. So let's just slide that on and be delicate about it. Here is the firing pin. Now, what I want to try to do is, see, it normally is a bit of a pain. If you put it on here, the pin tends to be low, and then it tends not to go into a hole. You have to kind of fight to get it. So yeah, I'm going to try this a little bit differently. We're going to slide this on, and then we're just going to make sure that hole, that spring gets in there. And now we're going to push. And you notice how the barrel isn't coming in, so just put it down, and there you go. The pin now can push in. Pull the trigger. Oh, let's see. Forgot the, it has a magazine safety, so. So that works. One other thing that is good to know is how to take these grips off. The trick to taking the grips off is do not take the grips off without the magazine in. If you do, there's a spring in there that will go flying across the room. And trust me, I've had to hunt it down a couple of times. But if you just take your fingernails and pry, there's, once that comes off, there's a U-shaped piece of metal with a spring right there. Pry this one off. Again, it comes off there. Now, if you want, hold the spring with your fingers. It comes off. Now, when I took it off, I didn't notice until later. This spring is also not the same diameter. It's smaller one end than the other. If you take the big end, shove it in the hole, it'll catch it, so it makes it a lot easier to put back in. You want to put it back in. First, put the spring in so it doesn't come back out. Push it in with your thumb, if you would, right there. Take the magazine, slide it back in, and all you got to do is get it just started, and then it's in. Take the grips and wrong grip. Good, right. Make sure you get the right side. You're not going to push down this way. You're going to push against that spring. It catches on this piece of plastic here. So just get on there and push forward. Push forward, and that's it. It's back on. So you hold the trigger down. This particular gun has been 100% reliable. No issues. Shoots reliably. Has reasonably accurate. The sights on it are like almost insanely small and ridiculous, but guns of that era often were. But that's how you do it. That's how you take the slide off. And trust me, this one must not have been taken off in probably decades, so it was hard to move. I would slide the thing down and it would just move a few inches. Now it's been loosened up and oiled. It one slap will work. If you're not comfortable slapping it, you may want to put a piece of wood in there and then tap it, but like I said, that piece right there is stopping you from hitting it. You wouldn't want to do that. So that's it. Hope that helps people out, and enjoy your pistol.